No way around it. Most San Antonians just love the Spurs. In fact, you might say a love for the Spurs is like woven into the fabric of the community like family. And Michael Garofalo recently sat down with one of the men who's responsible for keeping that team in good health and out on the court.
The San Antonio Spurs, four-time NBA champions. Over the last few decades, we've seen many players come and go, from the Iceman to the Admiral, even Dennis Rodman. But you can find a few consistencies throughout the championship years. Owner Peter Holt, Coach Pop, Tim Duncan, and someone who doesn't get much attention, Paul Saenz, the team doctor.
I was lucky enough to get the start in the 1998 season when we went on to win the first championship in the history of the franchise.
So how did this hometown boy who went to grade school at St. Mary Magdelan, Central High School, and then St. Mary's University land what he considers his dream job?
I think a lot of it's fate. A lot of it comes from being in the right place at the right time.
The fact is, Paul's business partner, Dr. Schmidt, the Spurs' previous doctor, was stepping aside, and the team decided to move in a new direction medically. So instead of having a surgeon lead the medical effort, the Spurs opted for Paul, whose specialty is primary care sports medicine.
Yes, we take care of the broad spectrum of musculoskeletal injuries, bone, joint, ligament, muscle strains, etc. But you also have the medical side of sports, taking care of the athlete optimally, the overall health of the athlete.
And it may very well be this overall philosophy that has allowed the Spurs to be so good for so long.
You can look at an athlete like Tim Duncan, who's aged marvelously. You know, he's gotten thinner. He's not lost much in the way of his quickness. But it comes from the effort of the athlete themselves.
So aside from hard work and a change in diet, what are the Spurs doing to keep guys like Timmy an all-star after more than 15 seasons in the league? Dr. Saenz says one big key is focusing on the concept of recovery.
What do they do in those first few hours following the game to replenish those depleted carbohydrate stores, their protein levels? And so recovery in the 24 to 48 hours following the performance of their sport is just tantamount to their continued success.
Speaking of success, Dr. Saenz is throwing his energies behind helping San Antonio kids afford what he grew up with, a Catholic school education, by chairing Hope for the Future's Khaki and Plaid Gala, being held February 1st.
So I've had that structure, a faith-based structure around me throughout my educational career, and I can't really ever feel like that's not part of the success in the professional life that I have today. And
if you'd like to support Hope for the Future and the Khaki and Plaid Gala, head to our website, news4sa.com, for more information. Michael Garofalo, News 4 San Antonio.